What's going on, guys? It's Phoenix. This is actually take 2 of this video, mainly because the first take rambled for a little bit and ended up going the time over the time limit that I have for these direct uploads. So, yeah. And yes, I was just filming with something off camera. That'll make sense here in a second. So, much like a previous video that I did, I want to talk about a couple of recent purchases. This was probably going to be a quick hits thing again. That being the little quick mini capsule reviews thing that I'm doing. But I will not be transforming either of these figures for this video. Just because they're both technically masterpieces. Well, one is an official release. And I don't want to do the transformations and then cut away to another video. Because I can't split up the clips. Yeah, you get the point. Anyhow, let's talk first about the third-party figure in this duo, if you will. Cloud9's Quakeblast. Or it is Quakeblast, right? Did I toss the box? I tossed the box. Crap. And the trash came today. We're calling him Masterpiece Shockwave because that's who he is. For the price that I got him for, because of an Amazon gift card, yeah, definitive Shockwave right here. Had I not gone in on this guy for what I got him for, I would have gotten the Hasbro Takara one, or technically the Takara one. But I'm really happy that I went in on this guy because this is just a really nicely done figure. I do still need to track down the batteries at some point for him, for his gun hand and his eye, but not too fussed about that, to be honest. It's just really, really nice. Honestly, my only real issue with him is just a personal one. As you can see here on Combiner Wars Shockwave, who I've previously covered, the translucent hand right there on the non-gone hand. Yeah. I've never really been particularly particular about having a transparent hand or not on Shockwave. And I guess because of that, when this is the spare that comes with Shockwave in case you want to give him 2 hands and not a gun hand, which I don't know why you would. When the other transparent hand that comes stock on him popped off at the stem of the ball joint in there, when I was putting too much pressure on the thumb, I just swapped in the solid purple plastic hand. It's just really nicely done. The transformation is very intuitive, straightforward once you get the hang of it. And honestly, the only fiddly part with it is these panels right here, just how they rotate on their T-joints in here. That's really honestly it. He is a little bit wobbly in his gun mode just because all the diecast on him is in the legs and the trigger, or in the handle. So that does make him kind of floppy when you grab him back here and hold him like a space laser pistol thing. But that doesn't really bother me. Frankly, I just like the fact that we have diecast on him because it gives him a very, very nice heft. And he just looks really freaking cool on my shelf. He is very much out of scale with my Combiner Wars Leader Class Megatron, but considering we haven't gotten a proper redo of Masterpiece Megatron yet, which I don't know why we haven't, probably because safety laws, and other reasons, I have that as my stand-in for a Megatron figure that's not really a masterpiece. Whatever, I don't know what I was trying to say there, to be honest. But yeah, if I had to stop collecting Shockwaves at this point, if that was a character that you said, hey, Zach, you can't collect Shockwave as a character anymore, for as long as you're a Transformers collector, I would be totally fine with that, because this is the definitive Shockwave for me. He's just that good. Compare him with Combiner Wars Shockwave real quick. And honestly, I'm only doing this because I really want this to be the thumbnail for this video. So, YouTube, do not fail me. I want this to be the thumbnail because I think that would be a hilarious thumbnail. Anyhow. Can you tell that I'm playing to YouTube's algorithms? Anyhow. Let's take Combiner War Shockwave off him. But yeah, Cloud9's Quakeblast. If you can get him, I know just stock he is a bit expensive. So If you have the money, get him. If not, wait for the official release, I guess. I don't know. I like this Shockwave. He's really, really cool. Let's talk about now the other figure that I've gotten recently, the official Masterpiece release, who I have more to say about, and not in a bad way. Masterpiece Hot Rod. Let's just move his Cybertronian pizza cutter away from his face. So, when I compare Hot Rod here to his previous release, who literally just came out last month, I don't know what it is with this new design team, but we have literally gotten 3 new Masterpiece molds and a remold of one of those molds in less than a full quarter of the year. It's kind of weird to me, because I remember not too long ago, we got maybe 2 or 3 Masterpiece figures a year. We've already had 4 different Masterpiece figures, and yes, I'm including Road Rage, who's across the room, and I'm not going to grab it because I'm lazy, as a separate figure from Trax. And we're just in the beginning of March. It's a little bit weird to me. Anyhow, when I look at these two, and this is not a slight on Hot Rod here, because I do legitimately really like him, I feel like we went from mediocre with Trax, so I hate doing a number scale, but let's say like a 4 out of 10, or maybe a 5. 4 with Trax, even though I do like that mold, in spite of its very significant flaws, to, in my opinion again, an 8 or a 9 out of 10 with Ironhide here, to then a 7, because I can't justify anything less than that, for Hot Rod. It's just, to me, Hot Rod, in spite of how good he is, and he is a really good figure, a really good Masterpiece figure, feels like more of an in-between between Trax and Ironhide, as opposed to a sequential release after Ironhide. I feel like the order honestly should have been Trax, Hot Rod, Ironhide. That just would have made more sense to me, and it would have been like a more like steady improvement. Because I feel like we went from here all the way up to here, and then now we dipped down a little bit. It's like a weird graph scatter plot thing that I have going on in my head. And again, that is not a slight in any way on Hot Rod here, because I legitimately really like him. It's just, I don't have the same wow factor with him that I did with Ironhide. And jumping back to a point that I just made a minute or two ago, it's weird to me that when I go home this weekend, I have family that's getting married next month. My only sister is, just to be perfectly honest, and I've been traveling home once a month or once every other month since November, setting aside the holidays to help out with wedding stuff. And it blows my mind that when I go home this weekend for literally 36 hours, I'll be taking Hot Rod with me. And literally last month, when I was back there helping out with some wedding stuff again, I had Ironhide with me, because Ironhide had just come out. Hot Rod here just came out. It's weird to me how many Masterpiece figures we're getting. Hot Rod is a really good figure, plain and simple. He has his flaws. Ironhide has his flaws too. I am surprised, frankly, with the coverage that Hot Rod is getting so far, that we are not nitpicking him nearly as much as we seem to have with Ironhide. That blows my mind. Especially in light of my last video, which was, oh, let's just accept figures for what they are. Which, honestly, I still subscribe to. I'm just really befuddled by why we're not dissecting and nitpicking, so far from at least what I've seen, Hot Rod here in the same way that we did Ironhide. It's just, this fandom is weird to me with that. Because there will be a lot of dissection on figures that I love, but then there won't be as much dissection on figures that I think are more deserving of them. Wrong preposition. again, that's not to say Hot Rod is crap, because he's really nice. It's just flaws. Honestly, from like here back, I feel like that could have been done a little bit better. I get that you do have to compress like the entire front half of the car from the hood back to give him a significant back and spoiler and everything like that. But I don't know. I just feel like this whole bit could have been done slightly better. And honestly, probably would have if this guy was done in the previous design team's era. For reference, that design team included Prime, Prowl, Smokescreen, Bumblebee, those molds. And Wheeljack too. I can definitely recommend Hot Rod, but if there's something that you don't like here that's just super egregious to you, much like in the way that Ironhide's portliness was to some people, and I'm not going to name names, then you probably won't like this. Honestly, I can see the same people that took issue with Ironhide's portliness taking issue with Hot Rod here. And if you're going to continue to take issue with the Masterpiece figures that we're getting, instead of appreciating them in spite of their flaws, maybe you should stop collecting the Masterpiece figures. That was a little bit of a rant. Anyhow, Hot Rod here is really, really cool. I do really legitimately like him. I want to completely clarify that and needlessly reiterate that. Yeah. So, definitely recommend Hot Rod here. He's just really nice. And the alt mode, which I haven't even talked about yet, and we're 12 minutes in, is just super sleek and awesome looking. I really like it. The transformation is very intuitive, too. It's just nicely done all around. I do, again, really, really like him. It's just, again, he feels more like of a midpoint between Trax and Ironhide than as the successor in the numbered Masterpiece range to Ironhide. Anyhow, that's it for me, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. As always, I'm Phoenix. Thanks for watching, guys. Rock on.